So with FC26 literally days away now, where do you start? How do you start? Is there a certain way that you want to set your club up right? And it all depends on what you personally have in goals for FC26. Now, obviously, the whole aspect to start with will be to try and get as much in your team as early on as possible. And naturally, that's going to be pretty much most people's way. Now, obviously, you're going to start off with the easiest way to potentially make some coins, and that is going to be through your kits. Now, obviously, at the start of the game, you will get a choice of a badge, a kit, a home and away, and then you'll kind of just go in with them. They are normally, if they don't change them this year, tradable. So what you could do from there is open up a couple of bronze packs whenever you get some coins, and you can go ahead and sell them kits. So the whole point is to always pick one of the better ones. If you manage to pick up a Man U kit, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, any of the kind of major teams that are going to go, and potentially even some of the kind of more obscure ones now are going to be well worth looking at. And obviously national kits are going to be fantastic as well. An England kit, if you manage to get that, Brazilian, well actually Brazilian's not going to be in it, but Argentina, what have you, they're all going to be worth something at the start of the game. That's how you easily get a little bit of something in there. It's not going to be crazy. I'm not saying you're going to make 50k from these, but even if you manage to make a couple of K, especially if you're not spending points on the game, which if you get an Ultimate Edition, you'll get some free ones that you'd have paid for, but naturally that's going to be a nice little earner straight off the bat. Kits are just kits. You will get untradeable ones eventually, and you can change it then. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for Eldorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with Eldorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. From there, the next kind of wave at the moment is going to be your hybrid SBCs. SBCs are always a fantastic start to the game, and if you've obviously played FC before, you know about the foundations. Now they are going to be slightly changed this year, which was in the pitch notes. The video is kind of going over the patch notes I've got from 2 days ago, if you want to check that out, and it goes through more in details of what they were kind of thinking at the start of the game. But most definitely the foundations, the hybrids, are going to be slightly changed and will change over the course, but these are going to be something that you want to finish off as quick as possible. Now obviously some of the big ones are going to cost a little bit more, and maybe if you've bought some packs, then naturally you should be able to finish these. But if we do get the same level of rewards, for instance, we normally get a 100k pack here or there, some 50k packs, a rare mega pack, they are great starting in there. And obviously they are all untradeable, so it's perfect to start your team off with them. So I would definitely recommend going through whatever SBCs they naturally give us from the start. That's just an easy one going through. You'll start off with your kind of foundations. It'll give you some bronze and silver packs, which again are going to be good for later on down the line. We then get a few more bronze and silvers from Foundation 3. Foundation 4, I believe, just goes silver. And then the final one, and this is just foundation, so it's not necessarily anything crazy. Couple of gold packs here and there that can help us for the hybrids. The hybrids are the ones that do give you the considerable better rewards. You look at this one, Prime Mixed, Prime Electrum, Mega Pack, Rare Player, and I want to say you got a 100k pack from finishing these, or at least another 50k at the minimum. So they are always going to be a number one to do. If there's any other SBCs, then naturally any challenges if you want to finish them off, I can imagine the marquee matchups won't start till the week after potentially, or at least kind of, it depends. They do, I think they refresh on the Thursday, I want to say. So naturally, if you're obviously waiting for that, that would be a week on from then. So they will be later on. Obviously then players are going to be far and few. There might be a couple that you can do, if not one or two maybe. I don't imagine there to be a crazy amount of upgrades on day one, but stocking your club up ready is going to be perfect. If you're going to go with the untradeable golds and obviously then utilizing them in the upgrades to try and get more, that's just naturally the progression of FC as we've had all of this year. Now, what I would suggest is Tradable even at the start of the game, unless it's like somebody that you know is a potential up in value sort of player, maybe an evolution player that you could get on board with, then yes, there might be worth a hold there. But most players, if you can get tradable coins for them, you want to sell them, discard them, whatever you can to get the most amount of coins from them in a very little span of time is going to be worth it. You go to focus on upgrades with untradable cards, and tradable you want to actually sell. Unless it's to do the hybrid league nation, then naturally they're going to be worth it to get that 50k back to give you more untradable. Then obviously you've got your upgrades, you've got your evolutions. Now, it seems to be this year coming, they're going to be focusing on a lot of silvers, a lot of low-end golds, especially to start with, to bring up the non-meta players, the Salas, the kind of, the Van der Vens, obviously then the Van Dijks. They're going to be upgraded hopefully a lot later, but we're going to get the 77s, the 75s, upgraded first. So trying to get a few of them in, especially if they are free, trying to get your evolutions in, and if you've done your ultimate edition, then you will get a double slot for evolutions, which I think is fantastic from the start of the game. That's going to be very important to try and get them up as quick as possible as well, just to get them out of the way, and you can keep the evolution grind going, because I can imagine this year we're going to have a lot of different game modes that are going to give us a lot more objectives based on evolutions, based on certain teams. We've seen with the Gauntlet having 3 different teams, evolutions can add that to the team. Now, whether there's going to be icon swaps that require this, I'm hoping they do come back, but we'll kind of see from there. But evolutions are going to be one that I would say, especially the free ones, even if you don't want to necessarily get a player up there, just get him up there to put him into an SBC if needed. Now, obviously, to start with, it's not going to be that you're going to get 85s and 86 left, right and centre, but even an 82 can solve a little bit of a problem if you're not going to go and grind somebody else out. So it's well worth having a look at. Then we have got the season pass. So this is obviously going to be a very important one to grind out for FC26 to get as much rewards as possible. We've seen obviously going for the pass, we're going to get like a menu in there. It is going to be focused around specific kind of nation run tournaments. So for instance, England 66 is going to be the very first one. So there's going to be a lot of English themes going on. So you can imagine, if we go in there now, if we knew this prior and we had the game prior to the season coming out, you'd probably want to be looking at English players. It might be worth an investment to have a look and see, could you pick up a few English players that might be required in an SBC, in an objective, that might actually go up in value. It's just an investment point of view there, and that could be the same if we get the back-to-back Spain kind of season. More than likely, France will get one. Argentina will get one. I don't know whether Brazil would, so that's going to be an interesting one because there is no license. I don't know if they are still going to do something like that. Obviously, Germany will be one as well. So the major nations will be most definitely receiving a season, especially if we've only got 10 to play with, depending on the length. They could make them shorter. We also then have these silver icons that are going to come in. They're going to be well worth doing, and going into the next point, finishing as many objectives as humanly possible to start with. If they're going to give packs, if they're going to give SP, if they're going to give any sort of players, you want to grind them out first. Now again, on the start of the game, we might get an early access objective, but realistically, it's not as if we're going to get completionists. We're not going to get weekly objectives that are going to be thrown out left, right and centre. It might just be a few, but taking this early access and completing as much as possible is going to be well worth doing from a menu sort of grind into the game aspect. And that would be kind of my menu grind to start with. Then it would be literally playing, making sure you're doing the game modes. If you are obviously playing a little bit of draft to get used to a couple of higher rated players. Squad battles has gone up to 18 games, grinding out as much of them as possible, especially if the rewards are staying on the weekend. If we do get it on the Thursday, Friday, grind that out as quick as possible, then move over to your rivals, then potentially do any of the friendlies if there's anything going on there. Live tournament, I believe, is out on the first day, and we're going to get like a tournament at the end of early access, a finale, so grinding out that. Gauntlets, I don't know if it's going to come out early or if it's going to be on the start day. Anything objective-wise or player-wise that's going to give you rewards first. For instance, if squad battles is Sunday, that would likely be the first reward that you can get. You want to grind that out as much as possible and in the best way as possible, trying to get it onto world class, trying to get the points as high as possible, and then you can grind through the game. So that's kind of where I would be at in terms of starting it, doing all of your SBCs, doing all your objectives, any evos in there as well, trying to get rewards ready for the starting week, and you can kind of go from there. It's a very easy process, and then as we do get into the proper game, we will see promo after promo, upgrades, we'll go through how to start with a promo, how to finish a promo, and what's the best things you can get from that promo. So leave it down below. Are you excited? Are you ready? Or are you just ready to just get into the game now? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you all for that next one. Peace.